candidates that are on the ticket on the Upper East Side and on Roosevelt Island. So to kick this off, I'm going to start with either Mike or Judy. Okay, Judy, come on up. Judy is for the 73rd Assembly District. Am I right?
73rd.
Yay! Hip hip hooray! Yay!
I'm going to press this to you.
Oh. What am I supposed to do?
That's your mic.
That's your mic.
Oh, wow. High tech.
It's not chocolate.
Sure it isn't. What am I supposed to say?
Whatever you want.
Oh, hi. Hi, everybody. Welcome
This
to
is your
it.
time.
Oh, I thought it's your party.
But I share. Come on.
Share the love.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Lou. Thank you for your graciousness. Lou is he's one of the most special candidates I think I've ever met. He's genuine, he's kind, and he's truly, he's so sincere with everything. And we don't have that much in politics. In fact, I don't know much of anybody that's got that. But Lou's got that. So thank you, Lou. My name's Judy Graham, and I am campaigning for the New York State Assembly, representing the 73rd District, which is 3rd Avenue and up, and then all of Sutton Place and also Turtle Bay. So that's my district, and if you see me around, I am the woman known with, I've got a plan, I got a purpose, and I have got a broom to clean up the crime in New York City. So I don't have my broom today because it's really Lou's spotlight, but you'll see me around with my broom on a lot of occasions. Thank you all very much. Get out there and vote, and be sure you go to the polls. Vote. Thank you.
Yay!
Thank you, Dragon Lady.
Thank you.
Remember, Judy Graham, 73rd AD. And next, a good friend of mine, Mike Zablaskis. Come on in, Mike.
All right.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Mike.
Well, I have a loud voice. What can I say? Yes, it is time for us to take back the State Assembly and State Senate. Lou has an excellent shot. Don't be scared of the Democrats in the street. We need all the people we can in the street. Talk to your friends. Call your friends. We're trying to set up phone banks. Volunteer for Lou because Seawright's running scared. Yesterday I was out at the 92nd Street food market. 82nd, right. Farmer's market.
Yeah.
She had 7, 8 people out there. It was just me and Deb. We were handing out more literature than all of them were. People are upset. They really don't like what's going on in this city, this state, or this country. Don't be afraid to talk to them. We can win this, especially Lucy, because Seawright messed up. And they were trying to lie about it yesterday. Oh, no, it was just a technical error. She didn't file her cover sheet. She's a lawyer. She's been in State Assembly, and she didn't file her cover sheet? That shows you how competent she is. And you need to press that. But also, I think I can possibly win this seat also. And believe it or not, if somehow I win this seat, we might be able to flip the state Senate, because the Republicans are going to win seats upstate. They're going to win seats in Long Island. And if somehow I pull off the miracle, watch what happens. This change is everything, because once the Senate is back in the Republican control, the Democrats can't pull the nonsense like bail reform that is letting people out on the street after they're punching people, hitting people, robbing people, and they're back out on the street in 2 hours. Rasheem Bremerman, the guy that punched a 92-year-old woman in Gramercy Park, has hit 3 or 4 more people since then. A 67-year-old man was hit while he was walking down the subway steps by the same crook, the thug that should be in jail and should not be let out. We let people know this, and they will not vote for the Democrats. They will vote for us. We need to get Lou in at the State Assembly, Judy and me, and we will change this city, not just this year, but next year, because more people will vote for Republican city council candidates and for whoever the mayoral candidate's going to be. We can win, and we can take this city back. Thank you.
Yay. All right.
All right, thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
All right, so she needs no introduction. AJ Katsimatidis, the chairwoman of the Manhattan GOP, and here you go.
Hey.
Thank you, Lou. Thank you so much for organizing this. And thank you, everybody, for coming out today. I really mean it. I really, really thank you for coming out today, because our city is a total mess. Crime is up 300%. And I was very fortunate to grow up in a city where Mayor Giuliani was the mayor, and I had never seen crime before. I was never scared to walk down the street. And just the other night, somebody was stabbed 900 feet from my apartment. I see crime all the time now. Crime is a regular occurrence in my neighborhood and in everybody's neighborhood. Women are being raped a few blocks from my apartment. As a woman, I'm terrified to walk down the street in New York City, and I don't want to feel this way, and I've never felt this way before, and that's why we really need to take a stand, and we need to do something. And we need to save the small businesses that are the lifeblood of our city when the Democrats are stifling them getting back on track. And so many people are complaining about this. Everybody's scared. Everyone sees our city in disarray. But it's so easy to complain, and nobody ever does anything about it. So this is why I mean it when I'm really thankful that all of you have turned out today, because you stepped up. You're stepping up in a time where your city needs you the most. And I really want to thank you. And I want to thank all of our candidates running, not only Lou, but Judy and Mike Zabluskis and also Curtis Lewa. Thank you guys for running and stepping up to save our city. And what really wins campaigns is not only hard work, and we're doing that with all of you turning out today, but also a little bit of a hand of God. And we've got that here because Lou is a good man. And he's such a good man.
Yes, you are.
And the Democrats are literally asleep at the wheel. Can you imagine having a representative that doesn't even care enough to make sure their paperwork is filed correctly to get on the ballot? If she cares that little about that, do you think that she cares about all of you? No way. We need new leadership. We need to get rid of this bail reform that they are putting in place in Albany. We need new leadership in Albany like Lou and Judy. So we've got hard work, and we're gonna work hard. We need to make sure to continue to work hard, a little bit of the hand of God, and we have the right side here because security is for everybody in our city and not just for those who can afford it. And that's why we need the police, we need to get rid of bail reform, we need to put criminals back in jail where they belong, because we need to make this a city where we want to raise our children and we want to live in and make it safe for everybody. And Lou, I am so honored to be here to support you today because Lou is a family man. He's a good guy. He cares about his community. And what people really forgot in this city is about how to love their neighbor. And Lou is really teaching people about loving your neighbor, and I'm really glad that a good guy like you is running. Thank you so much, Lou, for stepping up.
Thank you, AJ, for coming and now we have Curtis Lewa. As you know, he's the head of the Guardian Angels. He helps keep the city safe, and we need him now more than ever to help the police. Curtis. You don't need that?
I don't. First off, I want to thank all three candidates, Judy, Mike, and Lou. Because last week, because of the horrific crime increase in the Upper East Side, all three of them said, let's invite Curtis and the Guardian Angels to do a walkthrough. Throughout the Upper East Side, all three of their districts, the 2 Assembly-Manning districts, the 2 State Senate districts, let's see what the people's reaction was. It was overwhelmingly in favor of having guardian angels here on the Upper East Side. And as you know, we have our hands full over on the Upper West Side, in parts of Brooklyn, parts of the Bronx. But without a doubt, after completing the tour about 4 hours that night, we heard all the horror stories. So then I had to do my due diligence and actually do the analytics. What has been happening, especially in the 19th precinct. Well, the crime is off the hook. And remember, a lot of the crime doesn't even get reported anymore because the cops have been told to stand back, not to get involved. They are reactive, not proactive, because of the city administration and the Democratic majority that controls the state Senate, the state assembly, the city council, and almost every entity of government in the city of New York, particularly here on the Upper East Side. So just looking at the analytics, within a 4-week period in August, burglaries, 268% increase, mud on a line. That's like a tsunami. Robberies, likewise. And then the thefts of automobiles. Reminds me of Chop Shop Heaven, where I grew up in East New York and Canarsie back in the bad old 70s. Where if you left a car out, you'd say a prayer to the saints. And you know, on the next day, you'd see the broken glass in the front, and there it goes. Got time to get a new car. Unfortunately, we're moving in reverse. I can tell you, and having led the Guardian Angels for 41 years since I started in the Bronx in 1979, we're now in 13 countries, 130 cities, that I never would have thought there would be a need in the Upper East Side. I never thought where we are now, the Upper West Side. That would have been considered impossible. And yet, we are now starting a Guardian Angel patrol here in the Upper East Side because of the actions of Judy, Mike, and especially Doorman Lou. Let me mention a few things about Doorman Lou. Last cycle of the election, and you can tell he's got retail politics in his blood. You already saw him work in the crowd, right? I mean, he's got the touch. But a doorman or doorwoman, they know everything about a neighborhood, good, bad, and ugly. And so Lou kept telling me, hey, you know, this crime is going up here. And I knew Lou because I campaigned with him out on Roosevelt Island the last time, when he was running for the Assembly-Manic District on the New York State Reform Party line. I was New York State Reform Party chairman. And I got to tell you, those people treated Lou as if he was a person of no consequence. This was early in the morning, going to rush hour, the F train, you know, down into the bowels of the earth there on Roosevelt Island, like 52 miles below surface. And he understood. It's just part of the process. You get dissed and dismissed. It's like any of you who've been salesmen, saleswomen, you know, you make 100 cold calls, and 99% of the people introduce you to Mr. Click. But you got to keep moving on and on. And Lou has the right stuff. And then what really secured the deal for me is that he went out to Roosevelt Island, where all of a sudden management, the big muckers, the mockety-mocks, they wanted to force people who were taking care of the feral cats there to pay rent. To pay rent! The feral cats to keep the rats away, right? Naturally, at no cost to the taxpayers. Was that crazy? And I know, because I and my wife, we have 13 rescue cats in our apartment on the Upper West Side. So important. This is a man who dares to care. This is a man who understands what an average man and average woman go through. And more importantly, he understands the devastation of what crime has done to the Upper East Side. So not only am I supporting Judy and Mike, but especially Doorman Lou, who I've developed this bond with. And as a result of their preemptive understanding that we need to do something now. The election is important, but we need to do something now because this city is falling into the abyss. The response to the people of the Upper East Side is, we need the Guardian Angels. We're starting to recruit, we're starting to patrol because of these three, and especially you, Doorman Lou. And I will do everything within my power to help Judy, help Mike, help Doorman Lou, because it's incumbent if we're going to save our city. We must save our city. And just to finish, this has nothing to do with politics. We started a group in Chelsea. Chelsea couldn't be any more different than the Upper East Side. And do you know where we were asked to come to yesterday again? I'm like in a drug-induced psychosis now, and I don't do LSD. Wall Street. Why Wall Street? Not for those that are in white-collar business, but those who live there, because they're being preyed on. And many of the predators are people who are in need of services, who are being jammed into those empty hotels, homeless, emotionally disturbed. You have the Bentley. Why did they take the Bentley and take emotionally disturbed men, homeless men, those who need alcohol treatment, drug treatment, shove them into a hotel, no services? What do you think these men are going to do all day? This is what they're doing on the Upper West Side. It's what they're doing in Chelsea. It's what they're doing in Hell's Kitchen. It's what they're doing on Wall Street. It's what they're doing on the Upper East Side. It's what they're doing in northern Brooklyn and northern Queens. They're roaming about trying to feed their beasts, their addictions, and the city has provided them no services whatsoever. That has to stop. And in the meantime, we're going to be out there to make sure that these men stay out of harm's way so they don't get into trouble themselves and they don't become a problem for their new community. So I'm here to support Judy, Mike, and especially Doorman Lou.
It's no North Doorman. Thank you, Curtis. We look forward to you making patrols around here. And we have a...
There we go.
Okay, so anyway, before I get started, we have Carlos coming out. Hi, Carlos. He's a little late to the party, but you know, he should speak. Come on, he's challenging Carolyn Maloney for the House of Representatives.
Yay!
Well, good morning, everyone. So my name is Carlos Santiago Cano.